All right, welcome back to another edition of Tajh's Take. We got our college football analyst expert here, former Clemson All-American. Tajh, obviously fans always look to the future.
Yeah,
they're looking to this year, looking for a national championship this year, but they're also wanting to see signs from the freshmen and the younger players that the program's in good shape for the future. There's a lot to like out there this year if you're a Clemson fan.
Yeah.
So in this edition of Tajh's Take, I'm just going to ask Tajh his thoughts on some of the guys that are freshmen that are making impacts early. We'll start with the guy that dominated the final series of the game this week, Xavier Thomas.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him and how you see him fitting into Clemson down the road?
You know, and I don't know if it's just because he wears number 3, but he looks strikingly similar to another guy, Vic Beasley. And it's funny because Kendall Joseph said something in the comments earlier this week. He says, I don't know if Vic was doing what XT is doing at his age. And then Quanah Christian said, hey, that's because Vic came in playing tight end. So, it's one of those things that he had to work through. But ultimately, man, Xavier Thomas is just, a remarkable athlete. One of the things for me is so many times you get these highly heralded recruits that come in, and sometimes they don't necessarily fit the standard or fit the measure. And him being from Florence, going to IMG, you're like, all right, can this guy really play? Because IMG is an unbelievable school in itself, and they produce so much talent. But that transition to college sometimes is a little bit difficult for some of those guys coming from these all-star type teams. And for XT to come out here and do what he's done, he's lived up to his expectations and more, especially getting a chance to go in there and get the reps that he's getting and making the plays that he's making. And, it couldn't have worked out, as a better situation for him being surrounded by those guys that he is. Being surrounded by not KJ Henry, but what's not the kid's name in the middle right there? Trey Lamar. You got Trey Lamar sitting out there. You got Cleveland, you got Christian, you got Dex, you got Austin. Those guys right there, they're mentoring him, ahead of what's happening. And this is going to be his team here next year. And it's going to happen that soon, and the guy looks like he's going to be a first-round caliber type of player. And excited to see what his makeup's going to be, because obviously, for me, what it looks like is he has Shaq Lawson's motor with Vic Beasley's speed coming off of the edge. So tremendous package right there, man. I'm excited for him. Guy's built like a brick, so should be a very, very, very good player for Clemson.
All right, let's flip sides of the ball. Obviously, you got to throw against some great receivers that are making a lot of money in the NFL. Got a guy number 8 in here this year, Justin Ross.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him early?
Honestly, I think he's explosive as they come. He's still learning the game a little bit, getting a feel for it. But ultimately, he's one of those guys where if you get the ball in his hands, it's a big play opportunity every time. He's a guy that can catch a slant, 5 yards and pop it for 40. Or he can catch that back shoulder throw. And it's plays like that where it's not just his explosiveness or his body control that makes those kind of guys exclusive. The Mike Williams types, the Luke types. Guys that can go up and be more of a basketball player when the ball is in the air instead of a football player and falling down like crazy. So, he's exceptional in the fact that, all those pieces combine into something that's rare. And I don't know how Clemson continues to grab these guys, and I don't know how Alabama lets a guy like that get out of their backyard. Ultimately, I think that him and Trevor are going to do something remarkable around here. I've been pleased with how TJ Chase has been accelerating and performing. They got some guys. Cornell Powell looks good, man. Amari Rodgers. So this receiving core, I had some dogs when I was out there that had some unbelievable talent, but I think this receiving core right now is as good as any as well.
It says a lot, Dave. All right, you mentioned Trevor. Obviously, we're seeing more and more of him. He's taking over the starting role. Where do you see him 2 years from now?
I think he's a positive front runner. I think he wins one before he gets out of here. A lot of it just because he does have that poise that you can't coach or you can't teach, and he has it so early. Even in this last game against Syracuse before he went out, the type of throws he was making and the confidence that he was throwing them with, and the way he commanded his troops. You look at something like that in an offense with a guy leading the charge like that is unlimited. There's no limits to what the potential looks like in that front. And this is a team that ultimately could put up 50, 60 points. I never thought I would sit here, in the next 3 or 4 years and say, hey, there might be a guy that's going to shatter every record that I have. There's 130-something touchdowns, and I think he can do all of that. So excited to see him, man, and his progression. But the kid has all the makeup to be that guy, to be that #1 pick overall. I think that's what we'll see when it's all said and done.
All right, we got to see a lot more of Kyler McMichael this week than we thought he would.
Absolutely.
Came in, freshman corner.
Yep.
Mullen goes down with an injury. Mark Fields is suspended. How much does a game like that help his progression?
It's huge because he was more of an athlete, in high school. And ultimately, man, I came out here and saw him in skills and drills earlier this summer, and it was a little rough around the edges, man. I mean, the guy didn't necessarily know where he was going. Didn't know what a back pedal really looked like. Didn't really know how to break down the edges and commit to a football. And to come out here and see him do what he did at this magnitude and at that stage of the game, taking over where Trevor Mullen was at, I mean, ultimately, that's a confidence level for those coaches going forward, because it is a position that doesn't have much depth. When you get a guy that's so young but still learning and grasping the concepts and going out there and performing it on the football field, that says a lot for him and who he is and what his learning character is like. So excited to see his progression as well, because the guy can run, he can catch, he can jump, and you package all that into a primetime quarter position, playing the field. Ultimately, I mean, the guy has a chance to be special. AJ Terrell has always been one of my favorite guys, as well as Trayvon, obviously. But they got, even though they're limited with depth, they got a tremendous amount of talent. Tanner Muse is still a banger. It's been Boulware at the safety position. So, got guys, man, it's just still gaining that continuity. And when you can get guys like that reps early in the season, I mean, it makes, waves and does wonders for the team's confidence headed forward when we're talking about trying to make a playoff appearance.
All right, we want to thank Tajh for taking time and breaking some of the freshmen down. We'll do a little more of that later in the season as some of the other guys get a chance to play bigger roles. But obviously, as you can tell from Tajh's bright future ahead for the Clemson program. They got the pieces in place to keep this thing going for a while. Stay tuned to, as Tajh says, Team TCI. We'll have everything covered for you all week long. A lot of folks headed up to Wake Forest, and hopefully watch the Tigers move to 6-0.
Absolutely. Go Tigers.